So I have a confession to make. The very same subject that I'm getting ready to speak to you all about today, I fell victim to on yesterday. I know, sounds a little weird. However, it is truly a confirmation when you know that you fall victim to whatever it is that the Lord laid upon your heart to discuss and share with the world. Good morning and welcome to this week's Midweek Manna. And I will tell you today's topic is to protect your time so that you can protect your mind. What does that have to do with Christianity? Well, a tremendous amount. It has to do with our spiritual walk and how we as Christians are terrible at protecting our time so that we can learn of the Lord, learn of his ways, so that our minds are positively influenced to go out into the world. So let me take it to the scripture and then I will tell you what happened to me on yesterday. So let's start with Second Timothy chapter 2 verse 15. Most of us know it. And it's an old familiar passage of scripture that says, "Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth." And then we'll jump over to Romans 12 and 2, and it says, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may be able to prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God." That those two scriptures, my brothers and sisters, have everything to do with protecting your time in order to protect your mind. Here's why I say this. Yesterday, had loads of energy yesterday afternoon. Had to do this and do that, had enough time to schedule this and schedule an appointment, had tons of energy. And the moment I got ready to sit down to finish off my Bible study lesson for Wednesday night, I got so tired and my mind felt like I was out of gas. And there it happened. And that's when I knew that if I didn't do something to protect my time for the Lord and in the Lord, that my mind, my spiritual mind would be under attack, because that's where Satan that's where Satan does his best work, in our minds. He wants to consume our very thoughts. So let's look at Second Timothy chapter 2 verse 15 again as I paraphrase it. You got to study. If you're a child of God, you need to study his word, not once a week going to church on Sunday, because that ain't doing you doing God any favors. It's making you feel emotionally good that you went to church. But if you're not getting something out of church, you just went to church. Congratulations. But you've got to study to show yourself approved unto God. Excuse me. If you're a workman, if you're a workwoman, you should not be ashamed to partake in the gospel of Jesus Christ. Why? Because your studying prepares you to rightly divide the word of truth so that your mind isn't fooled or tricked by Satan. Okay, Romans 12 and 2. Don't be conformed to this world. Don't walk in the ways of the world, because as you walk in the ways of the world, you distance yourself from God. You distance yourself from godly character. So be transformed by the renewing of what? Your mind, that you may be able to disseminate what is good, what is acceptable, and what is the perfect will of God. Not my will, not your will. Our will is all jacked up, especially if it's not aligned with the will of the Lord. So you've got to protect your time. We know we give a lot of time to our families and to our children, and that is great. And I'm not telling you to take away from that. But what I am telling you to do is to find ways to spend time with the Lord so that you can protect your mind against all of the spiritual arrows that's thrown at you every day. So find a way to get up and get with the Lord so that he can get with you. God bless you. Take care.